Meghan and Harry interviewed. Urgent palace talks over crumbs. Crisis meetings involving senior royals have taken place following the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex's interview with Oprah Winfrey. BBC royal correspondent DR said Buckinghamers were lost ones to feel rushed into saying something, but Prince Henry and Meghan screamed. Crisis meetings involving senior royals have taken place following the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's interview with Oprah Winfrey. BBC royal correspondent DR said Buckinghamers were lost ones to feel rushed into saying something about Prince Henry and Meghan's claim. The couple spoke to Oprah about racism, mental health, and media and other members of the royal family. Prince Charles did not speak about the interview during a visit in London. An average of 11.1 million people in the UK watched the interview on Monday night. Indeed, the Duchess, who is the first mixed-race member of the modern royal family, said a low point came when Henry was asked by an unnamed royal family member how dark their son Archie's skin might be. Prince Henry later clarified to Oprah that the comments were not made by either the Queen or the Duke of Edinburgh. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden's spokeswoman said he would praise anyone for having the courage to speak out about mental health. White House Press Secretary Jack Paskey described Prince Henry, 36, and Meghan, 39, as private citizens who were sharing their own story in their own struggles. Former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton also backed Meghan, saying, "This young woman was not about to keep her head down. You know, this is 2021." Prince Charles did not respond to questions about the interview during the visit to a vaccine center in North London. The 2-hour interview was screened on ITV on Monday night, attracting 12.4 million viewers at its peak. The broadcaster's biggest audience since the 2019 Roll by World Cup final, while it was reviewed by an average of 17.1 million in the US the previous day. In the interview, the Duchess said that she found royal life so difficult that at times she didn't want to be alive anymore, and when she approached the institution for help, she did not get it. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer said that Meghan's allegations about racism and a lack of mental health support should be taken very seriously. Number 10 said Prime Minister Boris Johnson watched the interview on Monday night, but declined to comment further. It followed Mr. Johnson's comments earlier on Monday, when he said he had always had the highest admiration for the Queen and the unifying role she plays. He said, "When it comes to matters to do with the royal family, the right thing for prime ministers to say is loving." After being asked specifically if he believed that the royal family was vicious. Meanwhile, a YouGov opinion poll of 4,656 people conducted after the interview aired in the UK suggests The perplex was equally split 32% by 32% on whether Prince Henry and Meghan were treated fairly or unfairly by the royal family, while 46% said they did not know. Among over 65s, 50% thought the couple were treated fairly, compared with just 13% of 18 to 24-year-olds. There was little to change. There was little to no change in people's opinions when compared with an identical poll carried out last week. Prince Henry and Meghan has released a new image of them with their son Archie, who was born in 2019. During the interview, the Duchess was asked why she thought the royal family did not make Archie the prince, which Meghan said she wanted so that they would get police protection. The couple's children do not automatically become prince or princess due to a rule that has been in place since 1917, unless the queen steps in. In those months when I was pregnant, all around the same time, so we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he was born, Meghan said. She said the remarks about skin color were made to Henry and he related them to her, damaging. Asked by Oprah whether there were concerns that her child would be too brown and that would be a problem, Meghan said, if that is the assumption you are making, that is a pretty safe one. When pressed, she refused to reveal who the individual was, saying, I think that would be very damaging to them. Prince Henry also refused to give further details, saying, that conversation I'm never going to share. At the time it was awkward, awkward. I was a bit shocked, he added. Prince Henry said that none of his relatives spoke out in support of Meghan about the colonial undertones of new headlines and articles. No one from my family ever said anything over those 3 years. That hurts, he said. The couple moved to California after formally stepping down from royal duties in March 2020, and it was announced last month that they would not be returning as working members of the royal family. In footage not included in the original interview, Prince Henry said criticism from the tabloid press that filtered
tabloid press.
Said criticism from the tabloid press that filtered into the rest of society was a large part of why he and his wife left the UK. The Society of Editors said it was not acceptable to claim sessions of the press were bigoted, with those providing any supporting evidence. Bigoted. The Society of Editors said it was not acceptable to claim sections of the press were bigoted with those providing any supporting evidence. Labour MP Diana Abbott said she could cite story after story when Meghan was treated quite different from white members of the royal family. Ms. Abbott described the impact of coverage she has received as hurtful, adding, is corrosive and in the end, it makes you doubt yourself. In other key revelations from the Oprah interview, the couple announced their second child, which is due in the summer, is a girl. They exchanged veil, they exchanged vows in a ceremony led by the Archbishop of Canterbury in their backyard 3 days before they were legally married as their public wedding in May 2018. Prince Henry said his brother and father were trapped within the system of the royal family. He said his family cut him off financially at the beginning of last year, and his father stopped taking his calls. But the prince said he loved his brother to bits and wanted to hear his relationship with both him and his father. Meghan said she phoned the Queen after Prince Philip went into hospital last month. In further comments, Meghan told Oprah she felt betrayed by her father Thomas Markle's conduct her father Thomas Markle's conduct in the run-up to her 2018 wedding with Prince Henry. Mr. Markle told ITV's Good Morning Britain on Tuesday that the interview was the first time he had heard his daughter speak for several years. I'm very disappointed about it. I'm apologize about this thing. What happened at least 100 times or so, he said. He described the interview as over the top and ill-timed, but said he did not believe the royal family was racist and that the comments about Archie's skin color may have simply been a dumb question. Asked about Meghan's claim she had lost her father, Mr. Markle said, I'm available anytime we can get together. I'd love to get together. I'd certainly like to see my grandson. He also criticized the support from the palace when he and his family were under intense scrutiny from the media, saying, Nobody was there to care for us. Nobody looked after us. Archie, why is Meghan and Henry's son not a prince? In her interview with Oprah Winfrey, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, said that when she was pregnant, there were conversations about her future trial status, including what title he or she should receive. They were saying they didn't want him to be a prince or a princess, not knowing what the gender would be, which would be different from protocol, she said. What does royal protocol say? The rules about who gets to be a prince and also be referred to as His Royal Highness come from a letter patent issued by King George V in November 1917. Letters patent are legal instruments which may take the form of an open letter from the monarch. They may be used for royal declarations or the granting of titles such as peerages. In the 1917 letter, George V declared that the great-grandchildren of the monarch would no longer be prince or princess, except for the eldest son of the eldest son of the Prince of Wales. In our current situation, that means that Prince George, the eldest son of Prince William, automatically became a prince, but not Archie, even though they are both great-grandsons of the Queen. Under this protocol, Prince George's siblings Charity and Louis would not have received the title either, but in December 2012, the Queen also issued a letter patent which said that all of Prince William's children would be entitled to be prince or princess and get the HRH title. Also, being a prince or princess only goes through the male line, which means that the children of Princess Anne did not get those titles despite being the Queen's grandchildren. What about Archie's title? According to 1917 letter, Archie is entitled to become a prince, but not yet. The children of Henry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, would have to wait until Prince Charles, the heir to the throne, became king, at which point they would be the grandchildren of the monarch and hence entitled to be prince or princess. That's why Prince Andrew's daughters, Beatrix and Eugenie, were princes from birth. For example, the Duchess of Sussex.
Duchess of Sussex.
The Duchess of Sussex was keenly aware of the protocol. She referred to the interview to a George V or George VI convention. That would mean her son Archie would become a prince when Henry's dad becomes king. But she went on to say that she had been told when she was pregnant that they want to change the convention for Archie, so he will not become a prince. She did not give any more details about this, and Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace, and Buckingham Palace has lost comment on her claims. I saw that Meghan mentioned that there were plans to narrow eligibility, and I imagine that this is a reference to the Prince of Wales' stated will that the size of the royal family needs to be reduced, said Bob Morris from the Constitution Unit at UCL. However, he has not so far as I know given details of how it should be accomplished.